Hi everyone! Today we are going into an inner fire flow and it's going to be a full body flow. You may need a blanket or 2 blocks, whatever you have handy. And we'll get started. Okay, so if you have your blanket, you're going to roll it up long and put it up long on your mat so that you can lay on it and have that length be against your spine. If you had blocks, then you would stack the blocks one underneath your head at either the highest or the middle height, and one underneath your shoulder blades at either the middle or the lowest height. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay on top of your blanket or your blocks. And just start to open up the chest as we bring the arms out to the sides and the feet to the corner of the edges of the mat with the toes pointing out to the sides. And closing your eyes, taking 5 full deep belly breaths here. Filling up the spaces of your body as you breathe in and releasing fully back out as you release your exhale. And so many times throughout the day, we tend to round through the spine, whether we're working on a computer or looking at our phones. So just taking a little bit of time opening up the chest, bringing awareness to the spaces where we feel the breath move. And taking in one last round of breath here. And on your exhale, you can either roll to the side or you can come to sit straight up, so whatever is most comfortable for you. And we'll just place the blocks or the blanket out to the side for now and come into your tabletop position for cat-cow. So as you inhale, start to lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. As you exhale, round through the spine, looking towards navel center. You can do this as quickly or as slowly as you would like. Feeling the spaces of your body as you move with your breath. And on your next inhale, tuck your left toes under, lengthen the right leg back behind you, left hand reaches forward. Feel this push-pull action in the body as your hand reaches forward and your foot pulls back. Inhale, exhale, round through the spine, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen back out. Exhale, round through. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. We're going to bring our left hand down onto the mat. And then bring your right leg out to the side so that it is long with your hip here. Toes are pointed forward. We're going to do a couple of cat-cows here, just noticing how that feels differently in your body. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Exhale, round through. 2 more times here. Follow your breath. On your next inhale, we'll start to walk the hands towards your left knee and then lift the torso up to stack the shoulders on top of the hips. Hands come onto the hips and just start to bring that left hip bone or the right hip bone down a little bit to meet the left here. And then your right hand can come above or below your knee as your left arm reaches up and over towards your right toes. Just really breathing into the side body here. And on your next exhale, we'll bring the left hand down to the ground and then start to reach the right leg up so that your foot is in line with your hip or as high as you can reach it. Right hand reaches up to the sky, maybe looking up towards your right fingertips. Inhale. On your exhale, we're going to bring the right hand forward so that we're reaching forward. And then from here, we're going to bring our elbow to our knee again. And then lengthen back out. Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen out. And exhale, elbow to knee. And we'll start to make our way back into our tabletop position and move over to the other side. So right toes tuck, left leg reaches out, right hand reaches forward. Inhale, exhale, round through. Keeping stability through your core as you breathe in and out. And then lengthening back out. Right hand comes onto the ground, left foot reaches out to the side, and then you'll start to come into a few cat-cows here. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, round. Where do you notice the difference? Where do you feel the stretch in your body? And walking the hands in towards you, you're going to lift the shoulders on top of the hips. Placing the hands onto the hips, left hip bone pulls down to meet the right, and then left hand comes onto the leg as the right hand reaches over to the left side. Taking 3 full breaths here. And right hand comes down onto the ground beside your right knee, and then left leg reaches up in line with the hip. Left hand reaches straight up to the sky as you look up. And then bringing the left fingertips to reach forward. We're going to start to do some crunches here. So as you exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, back into your tabletop position. And we're going to move into puppy pose from here. So you can use your blanket again if you'd like, or if you had a block, you could place it underneath your forehead here. But coming into puppy pose, we're going to keep our hips lifted and then walk the hands forward like we're going into child's pose. But instead of rolling those hips back towards the heels, they're just going to stay high. Releasing the shoulder blades, allowing the upper back to let go with every exhale. Inhale, come back up, lift the head. Walk the hands slightly in towards you, but still keeping an angle in the arms. So we're going to start to come into downward facing dog. So lift the hips, lift the tailbone up to the sky, pedal it out. Do what feels good for you here in this down dog. Keeping the fingers spread wide. Arms are shoulder distance apart, feet are hips distance apart. Take another round of breath here. And then looking up towards your hands, walking the feet up as we inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, release into your forward fold. And you can walk the feet out a little bit here if you want a wider stance as we start to breathe and release in this fold. Maybe you want to grab opposite elbows as you gently sway here. Letting go of the back of the neck. Breathe into the back of the legs. And exhale, releasing the hands down as we inhale, rolling up the spine. Bringing the crown of the head up last as we roll the shoulders down the back and stand tall and strong in our mountain pose. Now from here, we're going to do some side body stretching. So as you inhale, bring the right arm up and over to the side, just like we did earlier in our gate pose. And come back to center, and we'll move over to the left side. Left arm reaches over to the side. And release it back down, moving back and forth with the breath as you start to release one hand down, inhaling into the opposite arm. And one more round of breath on each side. And coming back into your mountain, inhale, arms both rise at the same time, palms touch, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. On your exhale, plant your hands, step the left foot back, release the left knee down. Inhale, arms rise up on Janiyasana, low lunge. Feeling, making any little adjustments that you need to as you breathe into the tops of the thighs. And as you exhale, release the hands down, tuck the left toes under, lift the back knee, and come back into your plank. Lowering all the way down onto the belly, releasing the tops of the feet as we inhale, lift into cobra. And exhale, release back down, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises up and back behind you again. Exhale, foot comes in between the hands. We're coming back into low lunge here. So when you're ready, arms reach up and overhead. And as you exhale, elbows come out to the sides. Cactus arms, look up, open the chest. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands release down. Tuck the left toes under, lift the back knee. Left foot comes forward to meet the right as we inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release into your forward fold. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. As we exhale, hands to heart center and come back into our strong, steady mountain. Moving over to the other side. Inhale, arms rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Right foot steps back as we move back into Anjaneyasana. When you're ready, arms reach up. Just feeling this pose in your body. And as you exhale, release the hands down. Tuck the right toes under, lift the back knee, pull back into your plank. And then lowering all the way down onto the belly again, release the tops of the feet. Inhale, cobra. And in this cobra, we're just going to start to sway from side to side. Just feeling that movement of the spine that we don't really normally feel. And then exhale, release down, tuck the toes under, pull back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, foot comes in between the hands. Make your way back into low lunge. And on your next exhale, cactus arms, look up, open the heart. Inhale, arms reach back up. Exhale, release the hands down. Tuck the right toes under, lift that back knee, and come back up to the top of the mat as we inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, back into our mountain pose. Big toes touch, heels are slightly apart. We're going to sit down into our chair pose here. And then as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back with both feet. This time we'll shift forward, shoulders stack on top of the wrists as we lower chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, feeling the hips pull forward and lifting off of the ground. And as we exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, foot comes in between the hands. We're going to spiral down the left heel as we come up into our warrior one this time. Feel this pose in the body. Left hip pulls forward to meet the right. Tailbone reaches towards the earth. And as you exhale, release the hands down. Step back, flow through. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg reaches up and back. Bring the foot in between the hands, spiral down that back heel, and come back up into our warrior one here. Release the hands back down to the earth, step back, and move through your vinyasa. Taking 3 rounds of breath here in your downward facing dog. What are the spaces you feel opening? Breathe into them. And looking in between your hands, you can step or float your feet up. As we inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release into your forward fold. Big toes touch, heels are slightly apart. We're going to sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. And then come all the way up to standing, hands to heart center, Samastitihi. One more time here, sit back into your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, move through your vinyasa. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pull back down dog. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, foot in between the hands. When you're ready, warrior one. Exhale, release the hands down. Step back, vinyasa. When you're ready, left leg rises. Foot comes in between the hands. And come back up. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Exhale, release the hands down. Step back and move to the rhythm of your breath. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. And looking in between your hands, step or flow back up to the top. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. Big toes touch, heels are apart. Sit back down into your chair. Good. And then come all the way up to standing, hands to heart center, and come back into your mountain pose. Close your eyes, 3 rounds of breath here. Notice if the pace of your breath has started to become a little more rapid. Bring it all the way down to the belly and all the way out of the lungs. And blinking the eyes open, inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, twist open to the right. Arms come out to the sides into a T shape. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, back up to center. And then exhale, cactus arms, look up, heart rises. And then inhale, arms come back up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back behind you. Release the back knee, a low lunge. Exhale, hands to heart center. Left elbow hooks onto the outside of the right leg. We're going to twist here, lengthening through both sides of the rib cage. As we exhale, look up. And then tucking your left toes under, lift that back knee. And then bring your hands up to frame the ears, coming into a high lunge. Good. And then from here, we're going to exhale, cactus arms, look up. Inhale, arms reach up. 2 more times. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lengthen. On your next exhale, twist open to the right. Arms come out into your T shape. You can stay here or left hand reaches up, right hand comes back onto your leg. And exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back, move through your flow. Looking in between the hands, stepping or floating back up. Inhale, lift halfway. On your exhale, we're just going to come right back into it. So start to pull the right leg back. Bring the right knee down. Inhale, arms reach up to frame the ears, low lunge. Hands come to heart center. Right elbow hooks onto the outside of the left leg. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And then right toes tuck as we lift that back knee. And then start to come all the way up to center, high lunge. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, cactus. 2 more times, follow your breath. Inhale, lengthen, arms up. Exhale, twist to the left, cactus or T-shaped arms here, and then maybe coming into your warrior here, your exalted warrior. And then cartwheeling the hands down, stepping back, moving through your flow. Good. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg rises up and back, bend in the knee, open up the hip here. And then start to lengthen that right leg long behind you. Right foot comes in between the hands, spiral down the back heel, and come into your warrior two this time. Deep bend in the front knee, your T-shaped arms here. And then as you inhale, we'll start to flip and reverse our warrior. Right arm reaches up and overhead, left hand comes onto the back leg. And then come back into your warrior two, extended side angle, right forearm comes on top of the right thigh, and then left fingertips reach forward to frame the ear. You can stay right here. Maybe you want to bring your right hand onto the inside or the outside of your foot, or maybe you even want to try bind. Left hand wraps around the back, and right hand comes underneath the leg, and maybe your hands come together to clasp. Wherever you are, taking another breath there. And then coming back into your warrior two. Lengthening through your front leg. You can stay here or heel toe that back foot in a little bit. As we reach the right hand forward, and then place that right hand onto the inside or the outside of your right foot. Left arm reaches up to the sky, triangle pose. Shoulders squeeze together behind you as you open up the chest. Good, and then coming back up into your warrior two, we're going to come into half moon pose now. So you start to lift that left leg up and back. Right hand can either reach the ground. If you have blocks, you could use them here. You can use your blanket if you want, just for a little bit of height. But lifting that left leg up in line with the hip, flex through the foot. Feel the shoulder blades come together again. Left hand reaches up to the sky. Take another breath. And on your exhale, back down, warrior two. And then cartwheel the hands down, step back, move through your flow. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back behind you. And then bend at the knee and open up the hip here. And then start to lengthen through that left leg. Bring the foot in between the hands. We're coming back into warrior two. Deep bend in that front knee. Feel your heel to arch alignment in your feet. That front heel is coming right into the center of your back arch. And then reverse. Left palm flips up. Right hand comes onto the back leg. Maybe looking up here. And coming back into your warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm comes on top of your left thigh. Right fingertips reach forward. Either staying here or bringing your left hand onto the ground while still keeping the chest open, or maybe come into your bind. Good. And on your exhale, we'll unwind, come back into warrior two, straighten through the front leg, and make your way into Utthita Trikonasana. And notice if you feel like you're pulling really far forward in the chest, really pull it back, trying to keep your head in the same line as your hips. Good. And we'll start to come back up, warrior two, and then make our way into half moon pose. So from here, just take your time. Starting to lift that right leg up and back. And then reach in the right hand up to the sky. Really pull and flex through your right heel. Use your core strength. Good, and as you exhale, release that foot down, warrior two. And cartwheel the hands down, step back, move through your flow. Good. Take 3 rounds of cleansing breaths here as you inhale, breathe in through your nose. And as you exhale, release out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And from here, starting to shift forward, coming all the way down onto the belly. Releasing one cheek to the mat, hands in line with the hips. Take a breath of rest. And starting to bring the chin to the center of the mat. We're going to bring the ankles together, palms face down and in line with the hips. Exhale, pelvis down. Inhale, start to lift up through the chin. The chest and the shoulders just come into the half locust for now. Looking down, but a few inches in front of you. And as you exhale, release back down, opposite cheek to the mat. Inhale, chin back to the center. This time we'll come into full locust. As you exhale, pelvis down. Inhale, start to lift up, chin, chest, shoulders, feet, and hands. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly against the mat. And as you exhale, release back down the opposite cheek. And coming into bow pose, bring the chin to the center of the mat, bend in both knees, and grab either the tops of the feet or the outsides of the ankles. If you grab the ankles, you're flexing. If you grab the tops of your feet, you're pointing, flexing, and pointing at the same time. Knees come together as much as you can. Shoulders roll down the back. And as you exhale, pelvis down, inhale, start to lift up. Chin, chest, shoulders, you're looking forward. As you press the hands into the feet, feet into the hands, and start to lift the thighs up and off of the ground here. Just as much as you can. Still finding your breath. And on your exhale, we'll release down. Gently windshield wiper the legs back and forth. And then bring your arms into a T shape here. And lengthen your right leg long. Right cheek is going to come onto the mat. And then your left hand is going to press into the mat as you roll over to the right side. So your left foot is going to come to the outside of your right leg with your knee bent. You can stay here or you can stack that left leg on top of the right. Whatever feels better for you. Bringing into your shoulder, into the spine. And on your exhale, we'll unwind, come back to center, and we'll do this on the other side. So left arm is long to the side, in line with the shoulder. Right knee is bent, and the right hand comes onto the ground as you roll over to the left. And you can keep your hand pressing into the earth here, or if you want, you can bring the arm behind the back. Breathing into the chest, into the belly. And as you exhale, start to unwind, come back to center, and we'll move into child's pose. Reaching the arms out in front of you, forehead touches the mat. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the head off of the ground slightly, and we're going to thread the right hand underneath the left armpit, and then start to release the head back down. And you can bring the forehead to the mat, or you can bring your right cheek to the mat, just helping to open the shoulder a little bit more in a different position. Inhale, lift the head, walk the right hand forward, and we'll do the same thing on the left side here. Good. We'll start to come back up through center and walk the feet out in front of you, coming into your seated forward fold. So pulling out any flesh from underneath of you, so you're sitting on your bones. As we inhale, arms lengthen up. And as we exhale, reaching towards the feet here. And if you want, you can sit on your blanket if you have one, or even your block, helping you to lift the hips and help roll them forward. That'll help you to fold a little deeper. Taking another full round of breath here. And on your inhale, lift out through center. We'll bring the right leg slightly out to the side. Left foot comes onto the inside of the right thigh. As we inhale, arms reach up and overhead. Slightly twist over the right leg, and then exhale, fold here. And creating a rhythm here. As we inhale, lengthen the heart towards the toes. Exhale, release your chin down towards your shin. Inhaling back up through center. We're going to bring both feet together at the center for Baddha Konasana, or cobbler's pose. As we inhale, sit nice and tall, and as we exhale, start to hinge through the hips and fold. Elbows can come onto the fronts of the shins to help you lengthen through the spine, or they can come onto the insides of the calves, just allowing you to gently open a little more through those hips. Inhale, back through center, left leg lengthens out to the side, right foot comes in, we'll move into our Janu Shirshasana on the other side. Inhale, arms rise, slightly twist, exhale, fold. And every time you breathe in and out and lengthen and fold over the left leg, we're also thinking about releasing the right knee to the ground. Inhaling, coming back up through center. And we'll start to bring the feet to the top of the mat as we move into our bridge pose. So if you want, you can grab your blanket here and place it underneath your hips if you want to do a supported bridge pose. Otherwise, we're going to come all the way down to the ground, bringing your heels in towards your glutes, walking your hands towards your heels, and then rolling your shoulders underneath the back. As you inhale, start to lift up through the hips and the heart center. Slight tuck of the chin, creating a length in the back of the neck. Finding 5 rounds of breath here. up onto the toes. Exhale, rolling down the spine. And then gently windshield wipering the legs back and forth here. And then from here, you can come into either a supported or a full shoulder stand. So if you want to come to a supported shoulder stand, you can take your blanket or your block, place it underneath your sacrum, and then lift the feet up to the sky. You can also find a wall and just bring your feet up against the wall. Or if you want to come into full shoulder stand, you're going to start to lift your hips, bring your hands onto your sacrum, and then try and stack your ankles over the hips. So a lot of times we tend to bring the ankles further forward. Try to keep it stacked as much as you can. Taking in 3 more rounds of breath here. And if you would like, you can start to come into plow pose here, bringing the toes up and overhead. And if your toes don't touch the ground, keep your hands on your back. If they do touch the ground, you can start to release your hands off of your lower back. So just finding where you are today, and playing within that position. Noticing with every breath, maybe you're moving a little more forward towards the ground. And if you want to go further, you come into ear pressure pose, bending the knees, wrapping in the knees around the ears. And you can keep your hands on your back, maybe lengthen them out here as well, or you can wrap the hands around the backs of the legs. And on your next inhale, starting to come back up into your shoulder stand. Take a breath here, and as you exhale, toes come up and over the head first, as we gently, with control, roll down to the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest, wrapping the arms around the fronts of your shins, and maybe gently rocking from side to side here. Coming into happy baby pose, hands are going to come onto the sides of the feet, bring the knees to stack underneath the ankles, and then pull those knees to the outsides of your rib cage, elbows out to the sides as well. You can stay right here. Maybe you want to start to rock from side to side. Bring your knees back into your chest. We're going to lengthen the left leg along onto the mat. Right knee stays in. And then come into a supine twist from here. So your right knee is going to come to the outside of your left hip. And your left hand come onto your right thigh as your right arm comes out to the side. You can keep your head straight here, or you can look towards your right fingertips. Starting to soften through the space in between your eyebrows, relaxing your jaw. When we come into deep twists and hip openers, it's really easy for us to start to store tension in other places of the body. So you start to create awareness around that. Notice if you're starting to clench in the jaw, or you feel a little bit of strain in the back of your neck or your shoulder. Start to release it. Every exhale, letting go of tension you no longer need. inhaling, coming back to center. We'll just switch sides here. So right leg is going to be long, left knee comes into the chest. And as you exhale, left knee comes to the outside of the right hip. Left arm is long to the side here. Softening the left shoulder down towards the mat. As you release the left knee towards the ground. Inhale, come back through center. Bringing both knees back into your chest. And slightly lifting your head off of the ground, bringing your forehead in towards your knees. And as you exhale, we'll start to release long onto the mat for Shavasana. And if you want, you can take that blanket that you rolled up and place it underneath your spine again. And take my blocks and place them underneath of me as well for a supported fish pose in my Shavasana. Find your place of relaxation today. Softening through each and every space, each and every muscle, each and every bone. Allowing yourself to fully let go and to just be here. Starting to deepen your breath as you reawaken through the body, moving through your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, rolling over to one side or coming straight up, whatever feels better for you here. Coming into your comfortable seated position with your eyes closed and your hands at heart center. Thank you for sharing in this practice today, sharing your time and your energy in this space. The light within me honors and sees the light within you. Namaste.